So, the only thing I'm going to put on this internet is my conviction. God will have his world. More notes. Remember, I'm playing my soul game saga on your mind, heart, psyche spaces right now currently. So it's primarily going to be information, water-based. All of my critical knowledge will be water-based, but the righteous rage will be fire-based. Fire-based conscious mind, subconscious mind, water-based. You'll get what all that means later. Here, I want to read this definition to you. Starting with that, if you can see what that is. Rapture, a feeling of intense pleasure or joy. Yeah, that's what the word rapture defines as. A feeling of intense pleasure or joy. Euphoria, seventh heaven, or just satisfaction. Another definition says, according to some millenarian teaching, the transporting of believers to heaven at the second coming of Christ. The second coming of Christ, huh? This definition here, if you can see it. I'm just putting my conviction online. That's all I'm doing. Medieval Latin origin. Raptura, meaning seizing. To rapture, meaning seizing and carrying off. Starting from the late 16th century, the 1500s to the 1700s. Or 1500s to 1600s. Why am I reading that to you? Because your rapture comes from within, not something external of you. Your rapture comes from within, not something external of you. Anything that tells you what's outside of you is going to be responsible for bringing you joy is lying to you. Anything outside of you that tells you I am going to bring you joy is lying to you. That's not the reason I wanted to make this video though. Like I said, the only thing I'm putting online is my conviction. God will have his world. God will have his people moving Godspeed forever. So, what I am about to read to you is a list of 31 different cities, states, and towns within American history, of which were all once thriving black cities, states, and towns that the so-called white people got in their evil, disgusting, jealous, and need to be eradicated feelings over and destroyed them all for shits and giggles. They really wanted us to be trapped in this world that we are in currently. Oh, here you go with the victim mentality again, huh? Oh, I'm just labeling and describing things that history shows us. Killing millions in America. I'm just going to read this list off to you. And then I'm also going to post where I got this list from. If you can see on this here broken up phone that I have here, this list of things that I have there. I'm just going to read this off to you. Seneca Village, New York, 1857. Do some research on it, how it happened. A lot of these towns were flooded. Detroit, Michigan, 1940s to the 1960s. Atlanta, Georgia, 1906. Occhio, Florida, 1920. Colfax, Louisiana, 1873. Elaine, Arkansas, 1919. Siccombe, Texas, in 1910. 31 different ones. I'm just going to read them all off to you so you can have them in your mind. Go do some research on them to see exactly what these so-called jealous white folks did to destroy these towns of ours that we had that were once thriving. And then people like Myron Gaines want to get online and say things like the so-called white people, who are in reality just genetically modified versions of God's body, are not doing anything to stop these so-called melanated black people from thriving. But in reality, you're not black. You're just people with visible space skin. You so-called black people, including Myron Gaines, have visible space skin. Space, skin, meaning, yeah, like the firmament or space. Heaven. When you look at the definition of the word firmament, you'll find out that it's the seal of reality itself. These towns here, this information here is telling me how a group of people can take water from one part of a planet and place it on another one. That's what this information is telling me. It's not telling me how The seal of reality can be cracked open to allow water to fall into it. Did you know water is omnipresent, Myron Gaines? Did you know that? Did you know? Why am I saying these things, Myron Gaines? Simple. Because these luminescent skinned people are responsible for a lot of hindrance in our lives, including yours. Who has control over my Israel, Myron? What kind of people do you see on the TV with control over my Israel, Myron? What do you think they're doing in the power and the positions that they have? You ought to listen to Stevie Knight's song, Myron. Myron Gaines. You should go listen to one of the Stevie Knight's new videos. He just had a recent revelation with this whole I love Hitler chat that got out, I guess, whatever. The way I see it, at the end of the day, Myron, still, people are not guilty of anything that is happening. Where are you getting these ideas from? They ain't coming from me. If you were getting your ideas from me, all of you would be marching towards soul liberation right now, currently. As I said, I don't stand, nor do I don't necessarily support any of your wars or fighting that you have going on, honestly. The only thing I'm out here for, or only thing I'm putting things online for, are my own benefits, my conviction. But Myron Gaines, why am I saying random things to you? Because you are ignorant, just like Stevie Knight was. You all can learn. You're all going to see these revelations. You're all going to get them. Why? Because I want to go home. It's all about me at the end of the day. Moving along. You don't have to watch. You don't have to listen. None of that. More towns that these so-called white people were charged to destroy. Who is boring the hate sword into our world, Myron? Who's boring it in? I'm about to read all 31 of these towns and cities that these white people have destroyed to prevent us from being able to rise up in today's world, or to prevent us from being able to succeed at all. I was on number 7, right? Sycombe, Texas. It's spelled Siocum, Texas. This happened in 1910. All recent, too, within the 20th century. Oh, yeah, a century is 100 years, Myron. These things happened 40 to 50 years ago. Yeah, none of us were around 40 to 50 years ago, huh? So you think none of this affects us? You think none of this affects the people who caused the plagues and the destructions? You're a fool. Learn more so you can stop being that way. Just be the opposite of stupid, Myron. Wilmington, North Carolina, 1898. Number 9, Rosewood, Florida, 1923. Number 10, Springfield, Illinois, 1908. Number 11, East St. Louis, Illinois, from 1917 to 1921. A lot of these massacres and floods and town destructions, a lot of these happened in long periods of time, with long periods of destruction, constantly attacking us, endlessly trying to ruin our lives and keep them ruined. Then you got number 12, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. Black Wall Street, huh? Everybody knows about that one. What about some more of them? Sure, here's number 13, Portsmouth, Ohio, in 1831. Wyandotte, Michigan, from 1870 to 1940. This one lasted 70 years, Myron Gaines. But yet, you don't think they're doing anything to stop us from succeeding in this world, huh? Brother Myron, anything in reality that looks like you, what is pretending to be in charge of our lives, hates it. You're not going to escape for much longer. You so-called sellouts are going to be real easy to steal from this government, and then the so-called white people are going to be easy to steal from this government. It is holding on to you and keeping you away from me. It's keeping you away from me, Myron Gaines, with lies. Why am I targeting you so much, Myron Gaines? I just saw a recent video of you debating one of our brethren at some kind of campus event, and you were speaking and regurgitating all of the words that the so-called white people use to cover up their atrocities towards our people, including their own, who are also my people, just genetically modified with tails and thin lips to look like Saiyans. And their government is Frieza. So goofy, right? They're goofy. And you're goofy for not knowing these things. Are you goofy though? Or are you just missing some things? Both. But here's the thing though. If the one in Wyandotte, Michigan lasted from 1870 to 1940, meaning 70 years, that must have mean we were fighting back in that time. We were fighting them back, as we should start doing right now, as Myron should start doing, by putting his knowledge towards the right things versus ignorance. Who has control of my Israel, Myron? Number 15, Pollock, spelled P-O-L-L-O-C-K. Don't necessarily have a stake there. I'm going to give you the source of where I got this list from so you can see for yourself. That one started April 13th, 1873. Then you have number 16, Louisiana and Salina, Tennessee. November 1st, 1878 is when that happened. A lot of these massacres happened in just a year. A lot of these massacres went on for about 10 years. Number 17, Comanche County, Texas, 1886. Number 18, Paragould, Arkansas, 1888 to 1908. Number 19, Lexington, Oklahoma, 1892. Number 20, Blackwell, Oklahoma, 1893. Number 21, Monette, Missouri, June 20th, 1894. Look at how many of our cities they destroy, Myron Gaines. Why do you think they put so much work in on destroying what black people owned and black people had? So-called black people, but in reality, you're just people with space skin. In reality, white people are people with luminescent skin. Why do I say luminescent skin? Because when you peel the space back, meaning the layer of the firmament reality, you get the light, which is white. We all came from the same source, man. I know what's going on. You do too. You just want to act like you don't, like you were talking to that brethren in that video of yours that you just recently posted, trying to say, oh, there's no racist things holding you back, da. You know what, Myron? I don't believe in racism either. I just believe in who hates me and who does not hate me, meaning I just believe in what is evil and what is good. And from what I can see, the genetically modified people have been genetically modified and mentally beaten to be evil towards what doesn't look like them, so it can be easier for them to be evil towards it. Moving along. What am I really getting at when I say that, though, Brother Myron? That means that these so-called white people are worse than racist. They are worse than racist. There is no such thing as racism because those who practice in the behavior and have the abilities to practice in the behavior, meaning if you have the power and the systematic authority, like in the video that Steve Knight did, just recently covering it all, you have the power. You so-called black people, even though in reality you're just people with visible God skin. God is space, the space we are in, literally. And invisible God skin, the luminescence. People are just stupid. None of you can honestly be racist. White people are a tool. The so-called white people are the devil's tool. Harlots are the white people's tool. Everybody is being used to drill the devil's agenda into the world, whether you realize it or not. Why do I say everybody? Because if you say things like blessing. Moving along. Number 21. First, let me go back to number 19. Lexington, Oklahoma, 1892. Number 20, Blackwell, Oklahoma, 1893. Number 21, Monette, Missouri, June 20th, 1894. Number 22, Linton, Indiana, 1896. There's more. I have a total of 31 cities here. Number 23, Elwood, Indiana, August 27th, 1897. Number 24, Panna, Illinois, April 10th, 1899. Number 25, Carterville, Illinois, September 17th, 1899. Number 26, Mena, Arkansas, February 20th, 1901. Look these dates and times up where these massacres took place and where these so-called white people were driven by whatever drove them to destroy our towns and our cities and flood them and kill off our children who were innocent at these times. Go do some research on these cities right here that I'm mentioning to you, and you'll see for yourself if they're a fact or not. Look at how much they have done to stop us from being able to succeed, Brother Myron and Stevie Knight. Look at how much they have done. Learn faster. Why do I want you to learn these things, man? Because if people like you all came to a more stronger revelation, yeah, I realize you're just doing your reaction channels, Brother Steve. But if you all came to more stronger revelations with your abilities to reach people and the people you have your abilities to reach, you can do what my dear sister Melanie King just said in one of her recent videos, put the truth into the foundation of lies and blow it up. Why not go down the rabbit hole and blow them all up? Go down the rabbit hole, quote unquote, and just blow it up. You ain't even got to spend more time in there. Just go down there and blow it up. Why is it even a rabbit hole in the first place? Be more destructive, like, you know what I mean? To my good brother Myron Gaines and my great brother Stevie Knight, I'm not racist. I just want to destroy this shit so I can go home. Get you all up. Get you all off. Get you the fuck out so I can go home. It's all about me at the end of the day. I don't care about none of this, man. Like I said, all I'm doing is putting my conviction online. I'm not putting anything else on this internet. I don't need to. I'm just going to put my conviction online. God will have his world. The only way to do that is to put the truth of God in the world so it can have it. If that makes sense to you. How can the truth of God get into the world? The knowledge of God, who he is truly. Because one thing I know for a fact, you so-called black people, whom are in reality people with visible God-space skin, ain't doing none of this to anybody at all. And you know these things, Myron. You know these things, Anton Daniels. You know these things, Brother Stevie Knight. Just you three in particular for right now. You know these things. Here, I'm going to finish the list. 24, Panama, Illinois, April 10th, 1899. 25, Carterville, Illinois, September 17th, 1899. Same year, same state. 26, Mena, Arkansas, February 20th, 1901. 27, Pierce City, Missouri, August 18th, 1901. All over the place. Number 28, Decatur, Indiana, June 1902. Number 29, Joplin, Missouri, 18/16, 1903. Number 30, Sour Lake, Texas, July 9th, 1903. And number 31, Harrison, Arkansas, October 1903 and January 1909. So they came back 6 years later to slaughter some more of us. For shits and giggles. Look at how much they wanted to destroy. And why? Why were they so eager to ensure we so-called black people, as they call us, couldn't rise up? Or monkeys, as they call us. Do you deny that they call us monkeys, Myron Gaines, Anton Daniels, and Stevie Knight? Do you deny these things, my great brothers? Do you? Why? When it's right there in front of you and they're doing it all day, every day. Am I saying that they're evil? I'm saying what they're practicing is evil, but where do they get any ideas to practice it from? As I'm always keep saying, I care, but I don't, simultaneously. Where are they getting the ideas from? Where are they getting the ideas to be like this from, Myron Gaines, Anton Daniels, and Stevie Knight? What's the source of their instruction? What is it? What drove them to destroy these 31 black towns right here, so-called black, but in reality are just people with visible space skin. And they have luminescent skin because the firmament of their skin is peeled back. Did you know water and all the elements are omnipresent? No forgiving these people, no sympathy for these people, no forgetting everything they've done to ensure we'd be this way. Black people unite globally, fight back against the whites globally, and stop the only problem in the known universe of which they are, for soul supremacy. I just typed all that down. Black towns, Black Lives Matter, black and white, melanated people forever, Black history. I just typed all of that in there just because. Now see, my ultimate goal is to put this here conviction online, and what it's ultimately going to do is force people like Myron Gaines, brethren like Stevie J. Knight, and brethren like Anton Daniels into uniting, bringing their resources together once they realize the truth about these genetically modified God pieces. And the more we all unite, the more they will be obligated to repent, because they won't be able to have any kind of way to harm our people ever again. Sweaty tank top, huh? I know, I'm in this position for a reason. Oh, is it my fault? I don't care whose fault it is anymore. I just know I'm in this position and I need to get out of it. I know I'm doing something to get out of it. Any rate, Soul King. I serve the Soul King, so that means all people are my people. All of them, Brother Myron Gaines, Brother Donald Trump, Brother Benjamin Netanyahu, Brother Elon Musk, Anton Daniels. I'm not racist. I'm just going to keep on telling you what you're all doing that is wrong. Stop doing it, because this is why you're doing it. Why are you doing things that are wrong? Stop doing things that are wrong and start doing things that are right. Stop being stupid, Myron, and be right, and be logical, and be knowledgeable about everything you know. Stop being prejudiced, Myron. Stop being stupid, Stevie. Stop being a lunatic, Anton. Stop being these things that the devil hate blade wants you to be, and be the things in which the God love blade wants you to be. That's what I want. I'm the God love blade. I am stabbing all of you in the heart with my invisible blade of words. And in reality, I'm just bringing you full awareness that there is one already in your chest that needs to be gripped and pulled out and foresheathed, or used to cut the devil down that had it in our hearts in the first place, because all it is a blade and or extension of us. If you look up the information about Yaqub, Israel, Jacob, yada yada yada. Moving along. Here, I wanted to read that to you so it can be in the spiritual air, and y'all can do more research on it if you choose to. I'm also going to put a few links in my video box as to where I saw the information myself. You follow what I'm saying? And maybe that can tie into more ideas for reawakening, reincarnation, internal, resurrection, reestablishment, external, faster. God Psyche Metanoia Blueprint. The God Psyche Metanoia Blueprint. Or God Psyche the Metanoia Blueprint. God Psyche the Metanoia Blueprint. God Psyche. Brethren like Myron Gaines, Stevie Knight, and Anton Daniels, when they come to the full awareness of this here God Psyche idea, they're going to participate in helping unite all of the melanated people worldwide, versus saying that the so-called white people with luminescent skin are not doing things to prevent these things from being the outcome or the reality. And once you all begin to help push the world into the right direction, black people, the so-called black people, will unite faster than lightning. Once all of you so-called sellouts, or all of you so-called ignorant folks who don't know no better, but also do know better, simultaneously start doing what is just better for your own kind, period, only. Who's to say that's not what we're doing? What you're saying, man. Because, Myron Gaines, when you get online and you speak with that ignorance that you spoke with, you give more power to the ignorance, evil, and disgust of this so-called racism. As I said, I don't necessarily believe in racism because the form of that practice is worse than what the word's definition labels and describes it to be. It is worse. Worse. Do you get that? Worse than what it is being described as. Worse. This is why I don't believe in the concept of racism, because what I'm seeing it manifest and or the outcome of it is worse than what it describes in its word meaning. It's worse. Evil, disgusting. People with power who are kidnapping multitudes of melanated children or people with visible God skin off the streets. Your Epstein Islands, right? And all that. You got all that kind of power, right, Stevie Knight? You seen it, right? You seen what they were talking about? You seen the people who were in the positions, right? The higher ups and all of that. You seen that, right, Stevie? Yeah. It's been there the whole time. It's been like that for a long while. So here's what I'm getting ready to do next now, man. What I wanted to say before I close the video out. So now I got 2 more tasks before I can go back to playing the Christ game saga on you, which is me just freestyling and drilling the love blade into the world. I need to master and or learn all of the country names, which I have done now. There's actually about 274 of them, not 195, maybe. I'm going to double check it all again because it seems like some country names that I wrote down that kind of don't seem like they really belong on the list. Here's a brief rundown of what my next task is. All of the country names. I am gathering the birthdays and locations of all the country names worldwide. So far, I have the locations and birthdays of country names ranging from the letters A to B. I have the locations of them memorized from A till... I have all of them written down, though. All of them written down. Did you know there's actually one country with a Y in it? It's Yemen. Y-E-M-E-N. And did you know the country Burkina Faso was actually called Upper Volta at one point? I prefer the Burkina Faso name. I prefer that. Reason why? Because it means the land of incorruptible men. Incorruptible man or upright men. You follow me? Here we are. So from A till there's E right there. I have the locations, meaning the continents that they will be located in. I have those all memorized or written down, ready to share to the world in my next couple of upcoming videos. And I want to give an example of some of the dates that I've discovered, just in case they may be right or wrong. So, Afghanistan, located in Central Asia. It had its birth date in the year 1747 by the Durrani Empire, so that I've studied so far. Country name Albania in southern Europe, November 28th, 1912. Here's one that's interesting. Algeria, Northwest Africa, July 5th, 1962. That's a very young date right there. Wouldn't you agree, my dear family? That's a very young date right there. July 5th, 1962, Algeria, Northwest Africa. That's young. That happened in the decade of the Civil Rights Movement, right? Here, I want to read this one to you as well before I go on. Where are you, my family member? The country of... No, not there. Brazil. Let me read that real quick. In South America, September 7th, 1822. If these dates are incorrect, go look them up and tell me that they're wrong. Here you are. Burkina Faso in Western Africa. 1896, it was called Upper Volta. But in 1984, August 2nd, it changed to Burkina Faso when it declared its independence. But in reality, we all know independence is a hoax. It's a fairy tale. We ain't going to be independent until every melanated man, woman, and child on this planet is united and all of the so-called white people are forced to repent. Black global unity, white global repentance, black global unity, white global repentance. I don't care what any of you ignorant sellouts are saying. This needs to happen. Shalom, shalom, shalom. May these words reach you for the purpose they were designed and constructed to reach you for, your well-being, and for as well as the reawakening and or the awareness of the soul king within thy mind space that protects thy well-being grounds for all the days of your lives. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.